I'm doing a testing. Check a one, check a two, check a three, four, five. Big brother. What up, everybody? Hope you are having a great day. Welcome to My Media Mondays. I know I haven't posted a Monday video in a while, but it's okay. And today's going to be a little different because the moons have aligned, and we finally got Big Brother back in the house. Let me tell you, I am a dedicated Big Brother fan. I have been watching it since season 1. I don't watch a lot of TV, like TV shows, news, or whatever. I'll watch Big Brother. I'll watch The Saints. Other than that, I'm a big movie guy. Of course, I'll binge watch, a series or two on Netflix or Amazon Prime, like a Stranger Things or something. But for me, I'm a movie guy. So I always look forward to Big Brother during the summer. It is a great chill time to sit down with my wife and just watch it. There's nothing like sitting down after supper, big bowl of popcorn or junk food or something, sitting down, turning on the TV, and there's Aunt Julie. I call her Aunt Julie. Aunt Julie there to bring us great competitions and drama for the summer. And I kind of forgot about it because, 2020 has not gone as planned. So when they announced they were starting, I was pumped. But, I wasn't like, okay, if it starts, it starts. Because usually this time of year, we're about to wrap up the champion. So when they said they're about to start, I'm like, yes, indeed. And then they said it was Allstars. And I got really excited because Allstars, it's a different season than, let's say, a normal competition because you got people coming back who know what they're doing this time. Now, I want to take a minute and look at the house because this is, when they do the house reveal, it's one of my favorite things. All right, so first off, let's just talk about this house. This is probably one of my favorite design of houses, especially, I guess, because of the all-star feel. You know what they have in here. They're giving shout-outs to players. They're showing some stuff that you've seen over the seasons. As you can see, a lot of stuff's decorated with stars with the theme of it. But one of my favorite sections of the house is the kitchen. All right, let's see. Ain't it coming up? Let's see. It should be coming up here any second. The kitchen. Look at that. It is graffiti style. You got some of the greatest players and scenarios spray painted all over the wall. I love this concept. As a creator and an artist, this is beautiful work. I don't know who did it, but this is great work right here. Great design, great layout. Stop off for a second here. This concept of the lights being made out of spray cans that is graffiti in the wall. Great use of theme, great use of prop. This right here, this is the kind of stuff that excites me. I can look at stuff like this all day long. So this creative touch is beautiful to me. All right, so here we go. The bathroom is covered in rubber ducks. I would love to know how many rubber ducks they have on the wall right there. That is a great concept, great design. Man, they've really stepped it up this year when it comes to house design. And for y'all who don't know, they change the theme of the house every year. Let me pause this for a second. They change the theme of the house every year. So every year you get a different vibe and whatnot. All right, so another thing that Big Brother does great is they will make comic book style heroes of all their contestants. And it's a theme because it's part of one of their competitions. So for me to see a room dedicated in this comic book style, man, I love the layout. Love it. I love this art piece in the back. I love when things look messy and graffiti, but it has a theme to it. This piece on the back wall, I really like that. Man, their creative deal this year is just on the money. I know I'm probably repeating myself, but I don't care. I love this. This is probably one of the finest HOH rooms that I've ever seen. I love the way it looks like a loft. So for me, great setup. Probably one of the finer rooms that they've ever done as an HOH room. Bathroom kind of very similar. Sitting areas, pillows. I love that. Oh, I love the way they kind of gave it like this city theme in the background. All right, so we're going to take a minute and we're going to look at the contestants of this year. I'll give my opinion on a couple of them. With it being All-Stars, it is a return of previous contestants for the people who don't know. So you get to see some of your favorites. You get to see some people have a second chance. And they'll grab people from any of the 20-plus seasons. So this is always an exciting part for me to watch. Here, shout out Julie. Always looking fabulous. I call her Aunt Julie because we're always watching her every summer. She is a great host. I hope they never replace her. All right, so we got Christmas. Christmas was somebody I enjoyed. She was in season 19. She came in third with Paul and Josh. One of my favorite things about Christmas is she, not favorite, but she broke her foot in her season, right? And for the people who don't know, Big Brother is all about competitions and relationships and how you build them, how you maneuver them, how you have to manipulate to stay in the house, right? But she broke her foot, so it took her out a lot of competitions, so she had to really focus on her social game. And her and Paul, one of my favorite things in all of Big Brother is they pulled off a foot race. They got everybody to false start, and the girl with the one leg won the race. Probably one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen actually work out through Big Brother. I think she's going to do good this year on competition. I think she's very hungry to get in the competitions since she didn't get to participate in them the first time. If I was her, I would be careful because if you start winning too many competitions, it could put a target on your back. And I think her social game worked out pretty well. So if she keeps a balance, she will be somebody to reckon with. All right, so we got David. David was from Big Brother 21. David was one of the first people to get kicked out of his season. He didn't get to play a whole lot. So this is his chance to come back to play some more. And every time I see an interview with David, he's a very smart guy. Like, I think there's a lot of intelligence there. The only thing I think is that his disadvantage is he never really got to play any of his season. So he's going into All-Stars with people who've played and won. So I think that's going to be something of a hurdle he's going to have to figure out very fast. Because you have some hungry people in there who are ready to play now. Nicole is somebody also from 21, Big Brother 21. I love Nicole. She is somebody who made it very far. I think she learned a lot in her season. She grew up. I think she is somebody who can fly under the radar while the big egos and the big competition people fight it out. I think she will do very well again this season. But she's like the sleeping horse. If you're not paying attention, she could wind up in the top 3 and have a chance to go all the way. For her style, she's got a big heart, and I love Nicole. All right, so we have Danny. Danny has played this game twice. She is one of the OGs of the game. She had a strong personality in the beginning. One season she had to play with her dad, which I get the impression was a very rough relationship. But she did very well in her 2 seasons. But she's an OG, so you might not know what she is capable of. So I don't know if she's going to have a big target on her back. There's a good chance she would make it to jury, but I'm not sure. I don't know how she's going to mesh, because it looks like this season is a lot of OGs and a lot of fresh faces. So this is going to get interesting real fast. So right off the bat, Christmas might make it to jury. I'm not sure about David. I think Nicole might make it to jury. That's a tough line right there in the first 4. They all got something great to offer, but you don't know how these people are going to mesh in the house. Okay, so one of my favorites right here is Cody. Cody was part of the Hitman Squad in BB16. He played with Derek, which was probably one of the top 3 or 4 players of all time of Big Brother. He probably played the cleanest game ever in all of Big Brother. Cody was part of that. Cody held his own, but I think Derek at the time was thinking bigger moves, and Cody was really playing week to week. So I think Cody's coming back to prove himself that he is a competition beast. But if he's not careful, like a guy like him coming in second to Derek, he could come in very hungry, maybe too hungry too fast. But Cody I think he's a very loyal guy. He is somebody who you definitely want on your team to build with for sure. He will be in jury for sure. Kevin was from Big Brother 11. Big Brother 11, I didn't watch a whole lot. I do recall him with scenes with, I believe, with Jeff and them. But I really don't remember him that much. I know he placed 3rd, but with the cast they have this year, I don't know if he's going to have a big enough impact to stay. And from what I saw of last night's episode with him and Cody, I don't know if he was ready to come back. So he looked like he had some baggage with him, and he even said that on the show. So I don't know how Kevin could make it very far. I think he'll be gone before jury. Tyler's another guy who's a runner-up. I think overall he played a pretty clean game. I think what got Tyler in trouble was by the time he got to the end, he almost formed a final 2 with everybody, and it kind of cost him. And the one of the things I feel bad about with Tyler is he had a good game, but Casey had a good game too. But when it came to his final speech, I think he was rushed because a lot of time was given for for the engagement that happened, or the proposal from Bailey and her man. So it felt like Casey had her deal. They had, and I could be talking out of order here. And then they did a proposal, and then Tyler had like 30 seconds to wrap up his speech. But I don't know. I like Tyler. I think he played a pretty clean game. I don't want to say he got messy. I think what he did was he formed all these relationships. He was very genuine in all of them. But then you get down to the last top 4, top 5, and then you realize everybody that you became friends with is left. And now you're caught because you're like, oh, crap, I didn't realize everybody I said that I was partnered with, I am now with them towards the end of the game. And I think that's what's kind of hurt him. But I like Tyler. I hope he does well. He will make it to jury house. If not, he has a good chance of going back. Bailey, she's from Big Brother 20. Bailey's one of those people that she's got a strong personality, but her game got caught up in a showmance, and I don't think we got to see her actually play the game. You saw a little bit, but everything was surrounded by her man, and I think Swaggy costed her game more than she lost it. And it was weird, but they're still together, so obviously something's worked out there. But I think Bailey didn't get to have a chance to really play the game she wanted to play, because she had an idea. She got in the house, she met Swaggy, and everything went out the window. Nicole. Whew, okay. So Nicole's played it twice already. Big Brother 16, 18. I didn't like Nicole in season 16. I didn't care for her. In Big Brother 18, she changed up her gameplay a little bit. But with Paul and other people in the house, there was a lot of big egos, and she was able to weave herself within those egos and stay to the end. My personal take is Paul lost that season more than she won it. Now, that's not me bashing Nicole, but I think you had a bitter jury. Paul was there, and they didn't like Paul, and I thought Paul deserved to be there. Not saying Nicole didn't, but it's one of those things where I think people wanted to see Paul lose more than they wanted to see Nicole win. It's a hard thing, this game, but she's won it. She's earned the right to be there, and she gets somebody who she can get close to the end again. I think she has what it takes. Obviously, she's done 2 seasons. She's done very well in both of them. Memphis. All right, Memphis is just like Cody. He was a runner-up, Renegades with Dan, who is a legend. So if this is me, these 2 guys right here could do some damage. The runner-ups, even with Tyler, if Tyler got with these guys could do some damage, because especially Cody and Memphis, they have played with the best players of the game. All right, he played with Derek, he played with Dan. These 2 guys won. They could really do some stuff if they're smart. If they learned anything, Cody has a clean game. Memphis, he's an OG. Them 2 right there could be dangerous. If they're in the top 3, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, Enzo, Big Brother 12. He was part of the Brigade, Final 3. I don't remember a lot of Big Brother 12. There was a time during Big Brother I missed a couple seasons. Not really missed, but I wasn't involved as much. I remember the Brigade. I remember him coming in third. You know, they had one of the biggest alliances that ran the table. So he deserves a chance to play again. Obviously, he's been a Final 3. I'm not sure if he'll make Jury House. To me, he's a guy that could come off too hungry too fast, and he could put a target on his back. And I'm saying that for a lot of the OGs because, man, you know, it just depends on how they deliver their gameplay, I think, is what's going to affect them. All right, so Janelle, Big Brother 6, Big Brother 7, Big Brother 14. I tell you what, out of everybody, this woman right here scares me. Not as a personality, as in this girl has won so many competitions. She would be a great partner, but this woman right here scares me. And I'm saying that as a compliment because she has played with Will, Dr. Will. She's played against Chilltown. She has played with the best, and she has won against the best. Now, she won, she did win America's favorite house guest in season 7. But this woman right here, if she's not on your team, you better get her out fast because she's an OG. She knows what she's doing. And I tell you right now, she's the biggest threat in this house. Biggest threat. And that's a big compliment. Not because I don't like her. She is a threat. If she's not on your team, you need to get her out. This dude right here, he played with Janelle also, Big Brother 6 or 7, but he's very smart. He's very smart. And he's an OG. If he's not on your team, I'd say get him out. You have to. If you saw episode 2, Cody was thinking about him and Janelle, and I think that was very smart. But if they're not on your team, this dude's smart. I'm telling you, if you don't get him out early, he could be in top 5 or 4 real fast before you know it. All right, so who we got? All right, so we got Mama D. All right, Big Brother 17, 18. She was one of the guests who figure out the twin twist in 17. She's very smart. She picked up on the twins very fast. I think she played a better game in season 18. She talks too much. I thought she would go a little further in 18 because it looked like she got smarter. But Mama D, she gets to a point she don't shut up, and it's like, Mama D, she's got what it takes. Like I said, she figured out the twin twist. She's very smart, and she could be a top 5 threat if she shuts up just for a minute. I think Mama D's got what it takes, but I don't know if she's disciplined, but she's smart. So she's one of those wild cards. You know, if I was there, I would love to have Mama D on my team. But man, if she starts a fire, I don't know if you want to be incorporated with her because she's dangerous, man. She's a wild card. But I like Mama D, so we'll see. All right, so Keisha Keisha's another OG from season 10. She came in 4th. I don't know. I don't see her going very far. Not because she's bad. Just looking at the rest of the cast, man, this cast is got some heavy hitters in here. So I think Keisha has a chance to be smart if she makes it this week. But I don't see her going far unless she's able to get in with an alliance quickly, because she's already second guessing herself in the house. So, we're going to see. We're going to see. All right, and then we got Ian. All right, Ian, Big Brother 14. He was a winner, and he won against Dan, and he is another guy that I think if he doesn't have a huge target on his back, he could do very well this season. But he's one of the smartest players, I think, who played the game to a degree. But if I'm looking at this cast, man, with this many heavy hitters, I don't know. Because I tell you right now, this is, if I'm in this house right now, and I'm not working with a particular group, let's just say I'm solo, I would say Janelle and Kay and Ian and Nicole. Nicole's already won, but she has a chance, just like Ian, to fly under the radar between some of these OGs and these fresh faces. If Ian's not on your team, man, he could be somebody who could get to the end again. And if I'm looking at this cast, I think he'll make it the jury. Mama D has a chance to make it back. Tyler has a chance to make it to top 5. I think Christmas is a top 5. Nicole's a top 5. Danny is an OG. I think the OG's going to have some trouble. If you look at Memphis, Enzo, J, K, and when I say OG, I'm saying like from the first 10 or 12 seasons. Danny, man, it's hard to pick who could win this. I say Tyler, Cody, Memphis has a chance to win this. Nicole, man, I don't know who to pick. I wouldn't know how to pick. I wouldn't know how to pick this. This is a tough squad. Ooh, this is going to be a good season. This is going, man. I don't want to pick. Let's see. If I had to pick one. Okay, my top 5 right now. My top 5 favorite players. I'd go Janelle, Tyler, Christmas, Nicole, and Cody. Top 5 dangerous players. Janelle, Danny, Mama D, Ian, and I have to say Nicole. Nicole could be a sleeper in between some of these heavy hitters. I don't know. This is a tough cast, man. This is good. This is going to be a good season, and I can't wait. So they've had 2 episodes. Right now, for what we know is Cody is HOH, and Kevin and Keisha is on the block, and now we just got to figure out who's going to win veto. All right, so here we are, Big Brother All-Stars. I might start doing a couple videos as more episodes take place and start chatting with a couple people to see how this season is going to go. If you are a Big Brother fan, drop me a comment on who you think. Give me your top 5. I want to see what people think of this All-Star. I really think this season's up for grabs. There's a lot of OGs in there, and there's some fresh faces who are hungry. So this is going to be interesting. But tell me who you like, and we're going to see. So until next time, be cool, be safe, tie your shoes, and always live your passion. And welcome to Big Brother.